All right, I think we figured it out.
Yay.
All right, so I'm not sure exactly what we're supposed to do.
Okay. So we're supposed to do the group packet. So I did some of it already, but I have questions and things that I was confused about on it.
Okay, is that the quiz questions that you put out?
Hang on. Let me check. Sorry, I exited out of it.
Fine.
Yeah, it's the group thing.
Okay, so where it says group collaboration, then it wants us to go over these questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
He does.
So I went through them all, and I already submitted mine, and I missed two, I think, and I don't know which ones they are.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't download the PDF file onto my Word doc. Do you know how to do that?
I wasn't able to do it either. I did it, so I was able to get it to where I could edit the PDF, but I wasn't able to get it onto a Word document. So
Okay.
I don't remember how I did that though. I think I just downloaded it and then pushed or right clicked it and opened it in Adobe.
Okay. We just want to go over it together, I guess. Or
Yeah.
do we have to like send him this video of us talking about it?
I think they wanted us to post a link to this video on the discussion boards.
Okay.
So once we get done, we can put it on there.
Perfect. Okay, so let me get mine and open it because I cannot find it right now.
Yeah.
And then if you want to just pull yours up too, then we can do that and just talk about it. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, I'm ready. So which questions did you have?
So I didn't really understand any of the math part.
Okay.
I got to question 7, so I haven't finished it yet, but I skipped some questions too.
Okay, which ones did you skip?
I skipped number 4.
Okay. That one was confusing for me too because like when you go through it, it doesn't come up with like an exact match to what's in the middle, you know? And so what I did on it, and I don't know if it's right, but so there weren't any that came out exactly as like 7 bushels and 15 pounds of beef or whatever. But I think I chose C because that was the only one. I think that was 7 bushels of wheat and 16 pounds of beef. And so she could produce that, and I don't think she could have produced any of the other combinations. So it wasn't an exact. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. Do you want to start from question 1 and just make sure that we're all on the same page and have like the same answers? Okay.
So I chose on question 1. I chose B.
Yeah, me too.
That one seems pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, because you rely on others for goods and services, that it makes sense to be interdependent.
Right, yeah, none of the others really fit with it. So, what did you put on number 2?
Number 2, I got B.
B, yeah, that's what I got too.
And I just did like simple math and just multiplied. That one was easy.
Yeah, that one wasn't bad.
Number 3, I got C.
You got C?
Mm-hmm.
I got A, so we should go over that one too.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly how I did. I think I went through and I did the opportunity cost to see, if I bought this many sweaters and how many jackets I could produce.
Yeah.
And wrote it down.
I think you might be right because I didn't do that for it either. I just kind of like guesstimated.
Right. So what I did is, because on the first graph, it's an opportunity cost of 4 to 16, which is 1 out of 4, and then on the second one, I did 2 out of 10, which is 1 out of 5. Then I went through and I did like all my options. So if I did like one sweater on one of the graphs, I could still produce 22 jackets with a combination of the two. And I don't remember exactly what it was.
Okay.
But does that make sense? Like,
Yeah,
so
and I haven't really read the chapter in detail, so I'm not too comfortable like with the math part yet.
yeah, I think you just do it as a fraction basically.
Okay.
And then it depends on, so like if I was doing a big number on bottom or whatever, so I just switch it to whichever. So let me see if I can share my screen. Show point out a little better. Can you see
that? Okay, yeah, I got it.
Okay, so as long as so if I'm doing it as opportunity cost for sweaters, I would put it so that I believe 4 would be on the bottom. Or, no, excuse me, 4 would be on the top. No, 4 is on the bottom. Because the cost of every jacket, or the cost of every sweater would be 4 jackets. Does that make sense? And then if I switched it, the cost of every jacket would be 1/4 of a sweater.
Okay, the cost of every jacket would be 1/4 of a sweater. And that has nothing to do with the 16 jackets.
So what that's saying, so if you just look at the graph, so, and I'm sure you already get this, but just as a basis, when sweaters are at 0, I can produce 16 jackets. And then when I produce 0 jackets, I can produce 4 sweaters.
Okay.
So then anything on this line is just a combination of jackets and sweaters that I can produce on that line.
Okay.
So say if I produce one sweater, then I would be able to produce 12 jackets still. So I'd be able to do the combination of one sweater and 12 jackets. Because that lines up on the graph. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense.
Okay, and then it's just the same with this one. And so when I did that's what I got was one sweater and 22 jackets was the combination I could get out of it.
So did you just add them together?
I don't know if there's an easier way to do it, but I just so I knew that, so my opportunity cost here is 1 out of 5. So every time I move 1, I'm going to move down 5 here. So I just went back and forth. I was like, okay, if I do one jacket or one sweater here, then I'm going to produce 5 jackets. And if I don't produce any sweaters over here, I have 16 jackets. That adds up to 21. So that doesn't add up in any one of these. And then if I did one sweater on this side, then I would still have 12 jackets on this side and 10 on this side. So that's how I got my 22. So that would be one sweater and 22 jackets.
Okay.
It's kind of confusing, and it took me a while on that one just to kind of figure out how to go through it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll just go with your answer and then I'll just check it later.
Yeah. And like I said, I submitted mine and it said I missed two of them, but I don't know which ones they are, so it kind of makes it hard to go over it. But
Yeah. Okay, so you got, was that number 3 or 4?
that was three, and I got A.
Okay, number 4, I didn't do number 4.
Okay, that one was similar. So, share my screen again just because it makes it easier. So what I did is I just inputted everything, So if I'm making 10 bushels of wheat at 30 minutes per bushel, and it says I have 8 hours, so I have 16 30-minute increments in that 8-hour shift. So if I split it up a little bit, I can make, like, how long, what I did is I just said, okay, how long will it take me to make 10 bushels? And so it takes me a half hour to make 1 bushel. That'll take me 5 hours to make the 10 bushels here. And then so I have 3 hours left in the 8 hours. But I think that gave me, like, with 1 pound of beef per 15-minute time slot, I think that gave me 12 pounds of beef. So I knew that one wouldn't work. And I just kept, like, inputting it. So 7 would be 3.5 hours to make. Does that make sense what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, and then then I still have 4.5 hours for in my day to produce beef, which I believe was 16 pounds. But the rest of them, they were all things that were outside of the like what she was able to produce.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I chose C because it's not an exact one would have been 7 bushels of wheat and 16 pounds of beef. But she technically would be able to produce 7 bushels of wheat and 15 pounds of beef.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's the one I went with.
Okay. For number 5, I got D.
D. And that was another one. I wasn't sure because I felt like because I did A, but I'm not sure because they're both right.
Yeah.
It was hard to know which one would be the most correct because you're right. Technically, Brazil should specialize in producing cashews because it makes more sense that way because they can make a lot more. But also, it's more costly to reproduce peanuts than it is to produce cashews. So I don't. That's a hard question because I don't really know which one it was that was most correct.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with D on that one.
That's fine, yeah. The only reason I went with A was because when you specialize, you kind of do it in regards to trading. So if you are trading with somebody, then you'd want to specialize in the one that you produce more of. But when you're just being self-sufficient, which I don't know, this doesn't say anything about trading, so I just went with the self-sufficient route with where you'd want to produce both.
Yeah.
Which is why I went with A, but I mean, I don't know which one's right, so you're totally good with D, probably.
Yeah, that does make sense. Okay, for number 6, I got B.
That's what I got as well.
Okay, that one is pretty easy. Obviously, Alice produces more lemonade and Betty produces more pizza.
Yeah.
And that was like the only obvious one.
Right, yeah, that's what I got too. So.
Yeah, okay, so I think that one's good. For 7, I got D.
D?
Yeah.
Okay, I put A, but I'll go through it again because I want to make sure.
Okay. What I did, this is probably not the way that you're supposed to do it, but so I just, I'm trying to see. Ken. I just wrote down like both of the names. So I put like Ken, 3. So I just added 3 up to 18. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. And so the cost of one chair is 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 chairs for 6 tables for Ken. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then for Tracy, I did 8 tables and then 16 tables and then 24 tables. So then I put 3 tables for 24 chairs.
Okay, yeah, I'm confused on that one too a little bit. I did A because since they're making more chairs than they are tables for every whole chair that they produce, since they're making, let's say Ken, he's making 18 chairs, and in that same amount of time he can make 3 tables. So when he produces one table or one chair, he hasn't quite made a table yet because it's such a smaller number. So that's why I went with, so for every chair he's making a sixth of a table because he makes a lot less tables. I'm explaining that terribly.
No, that makes complete sense.
If it was the other way, he would be making um, like 24 chairs or 24 tables for every 18 chairs. So,
No, that's true.
so that's I went with A because that way when I times 1/6 times 18, it comes up with 3. Just I think.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I think that's the right answer is A.
Yeah, I think so too. And then for the other ones, I haven't done them yet.
Okay. We can go through them if you want to.
Sure.
So on question 8, I'm not sure because it has this section here, like the hours needed to make one car or one airplane, and then the quantity produced in 2,400 hours. And these would give me like different answers as far as opportunity cost than if I took this data. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because since we divide them, it would bring me different numbers. So I opted to go with this information.
Hang on. Sorry, I'm not on the screen right now. I'm looking at my paper. All right. Which one did you do?
Okay, so I went and I used this information to calculate the opportunity cost instead of this one.
Okay. How did you calculate it?
So what I did, so in terms of they're giving me, we want to look for the opportunity cost in terms of the car. And so when we do it, I think we divide into whatever we're doing in terms of. So since we're doing it in terms of cars, we would divide 16 by 80, which as a fraction would be 1/3, and then 16 by 48, which as a fraction is 1/5.
Okay, that makes sense.
So for every car that's being produced, 1/5 of an airplane is produced, and then for Japan, every car that's being produced, 1/3 of an airplane is being produced.
Okay.
So you said that you hadn't read much on the opportunity cost in the chapters.
No, I haven't.
Do you do you know like do you understand what it means when they say opportunity cost?
Um, is it like what you're giving up to produce something?
Yeah, basically. So like that first graph that was on there, she could either produce 16 jackets or 4 sweaters. But she couldn't produce 16 jackets and 4 sweaters. It was either or. So she could do a smaller number. So it's just like exactly what you said. It's what you give up to produce one thing. So
Okay, so like if she was producing 16 sweaters, then then the jackets are her opportunity cost.
kind of, yeah. So they do it in terms of so if her opportunity cost is 1 jacket for every jacket that she or for every sweater that she produces, she has to give up 1 jacket. So yeah, that's her opportunity cost. But it depends on what the ratio is. So it could be for every sweater she produces, she has to give up 1/3 of a jacket. Or for every sweater she produces, she has to give up 3 jackets. So whatever you give up in order to produce whatever you decide to produce, that's your opportunity cost.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's just like going back into the microeconomic stuff.
Have you taken micro?
Yeah, I did. Did you not take it?
I'm in it right now.
You're doing both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while, so
What's your major?
I'm a business management major,
Okay.
so this is the last economics class I have to take.
Dang. Yeah, I like economics and I want to major in it, but it's kind of hard.
It's really hard. It's really hard. Who are you taking your microeconomics with?
Um, I forgot his name. I could look it up real quick though.
Are you doing it online as well, or are you going to class?
No, I'm going to class. I'm at school right now, but I just figured it'd be easier to take this one online.
Yeah.
Do you live in Florida or are you just working in there?
I'm actually from Blackfoot, Idaho,
Okay.
but me and my wife have been living here we moved here in November.
Oh, I didn't know.
For a while. Yeah, we just got back from Disney World, so
That is so cool.
yeah, she got a job here. She graduated from BYU with her nursing degree.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's been really fun. We've enjoyed it.
I live right by Disneyland in California.
Yeah, it's so nice to live close.
Yeah.
She's actually from California, but it's Oakdale. It's kind of the northern Central Valley.
Okay, I don't think I've heard of it.
Yeah, she misses California though.
Yeah, Idaho is pretty cool, but California has its perks too.
Yeah, it's hard to beat Southern California.
I'm trying to find my teacher on here.
It's all right. I think it was Leo Harker when I did it, and he was really good.
Wait, what was his last name?
Harker, I think.
Does he talk about how his dad owned a pizza place a lot?
No,
Okay.
it's probably a different guy.
Yeah, the one that I'm taking, he's pretty good too. So it should be fun.
Yeah, I liked microeconomics.
Yeah, micro seems a lot easier than macro.
Yeah, it's different. Definitely different. You're just starting in it, right? Your
Yeah.
microeconomics. It gets a little more difficult, but not terrible.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I feel like just understanding what they mean by opportunity cost is because once you understand that, the rest of it kind of, this part at least, comes pretty easy.
Yeah. Okay. Number 9.
Okay, number 9. I'm gonna share my screen again just because it helps me keep track. So trying to remember what I did on this one to get it. Okay, I remember. So what I did is, so he gives Dina 6 burritos for every 10 tacos that she gives him. So in order for them to equal, she needs to produce, or excuse me, she needs to produce, so she's, okay, never mind. She's specializing in tacos.
Mm-hmm.
He's specializing in burritos, meaning so he's only producing burritos, so he's producing 300 burritos, and she's only producing tacos, so she's making 400.
Okay.
In order for her to, let's see, I'm losing my train of thought. I had it for a minute, but now I forgot it again.
Would you divide 6 burritos by 400 tacos?
Might. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely not that one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard.
Okay. Which of the following combinations of opposite one consume same demons for choice?
Okay. So this one, it was another one of those trial and error ones. So if she gives up 100 of her tacos, she would have 300 tacos left, and she would get 60 burritos, and that works out because so she gives this guy 100 tacos, and in return, he'll give her 6 burritos for every set of 10 tacos. So she gives him 100, which is 10 sets of 10. So 10 times 6 is 60. So that was the only one that worked out with the math, was for her to have 300 tacos and 60 burritos. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. See if, like, I want to see if I can explain it.
Okay.
Okay. So you just plug in the numbers because so we're plugging in 300 tacos because we're just assuming that she's giving him 100 tacos.
Right.
Okay. So for 10 tacos, he's willing to trade 6 burritos. So 10 times 6 is 60 burritos.
Right.
And we're just assuming that she's giving up 100 tacos, and then on the graph that goes to 300.
So, yeah, because since we know that he's just producing burritos, we know he's going to produce 300. And we know that she's just producing tacos, so she's going to produce 400. And so we know that if she produces 100 tacos, or she retains 100 tacos, that means if she gave 300 to this guy. And if she gave 300 to him, then that's 30 units of 10, which would be 30 times 6.
Okay.
Which would be 180. So we know that one doesn't work. Does that make sense? That's
Yeah.
all it is. I just input them to which one everyone's added up.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I don't know if there's like an actual way to solve it other than doing that.
Mm-hmm.
There probably is, but from the readings I did all the readings and stuff and the homework problems. And really, it doesn't describe anything any better, you know? So
Yeah.
it doesn't give you any formulas or anything like that. So I don't, if it was in the reading, I guess I must have missed it, but
Okay.
that's all I did. So the same, like if she retained 340, then she would have given him 60 tacos, which is would be 6 times 60, which doesn't equal 40. So that's all I did with that.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, number 10.
Okay, number 10 confused me, and I'm not sure if I got it right.
Suppose I have no idea.
Okay, so what I did, because it took me a while to figure it out, and I don't know if it's right, but it was the only thing I could come up with that actually had an answer within this group. So what I did was I just wrote it out. So Fredonia can produce, I think they may have made a typo because it says that they can produce, up here it says they can produce 6 units of corn or 2 units of wheat.
It should be and.
But I think down here it needs to be or as well. I think it needs to, because that's what I switched it to or, and then I was able to get an answer out of it.
Okay.
I'm not sure. So what I did was so 30 units of corn and 10 units of wheat per year. And if they only produce corn, then they can, because of the way the opportunity cost works, they can make, so if they just forget about wheat altogether and just produce and specialize in corn, they can make 60 units of corn.
Okay.
So if they make 60 units of corn and 0 units of wheat, and then these guys do the opposite, they do 60 units of wheat and 0 units of corn. Then when they each trade for 30, so they can retain 30 units and they can trade or export 30 units. And that goes both ways. None of the others, at least I couldn't figure out any numbers that worked. So if they just both specialized in corn and in wheat, then it worked out to where they could consume after they gave up their 30 units for the trade deal. They could still retain 30 units, and then they would receive 30 units from the other guys. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean,
That's what I
it does, but since I haven't read it, I'm not fully understanding it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you have any questions on it? Is there anything that sticks out to you?
No, not on that one.
Okay. So this one, and like I said, on a lot of these, I just kind of, it was never like a definitive answer. Like a lot of them, I just chose what fit the best.
Yeah. Okay, so for that one, assume that the farmer manager has 24 labor hours available if each person spends all his time producing the goods. Okay. So the farmer has a comparative advantage in tomatoes, and the rancher has it in pork. So I remember reading in the book, because I just started chapter 3, and it said that even though oh wait, it said that it was just talking about how like trade is beneficial for both people, even though someone has a comparative advantage in both things, because then they're able to produce the thing that they specialize in.
Yeah, trying to remember exactly what they said about that. Because I know like half of the purpose of this chapter is to show us how we can benefit from trading.
Yeah.
That one, yeah, this one is a little confusing because I don't know if you read in the chapter yet, but in order for a trade to be like advantageous for both parties,
Mm-hmm.
it has to fall between their opportunity cost. And so you have to kind of calculate their opportunity cost. So if after making the trade, the rancher's trade value of tomatoes is higher than his opportunity cost is or was, then it wasn't a good deal for him, and he should have just been self-sufficient.
Okay.
And so after I went through and did the opportunity costs, it looked like, to me at least, that it was C, that the rancher gained from the trade.
But the farmer won't, because he
Didn't
produces
because
more
yeah,
anyways.
yeah, he would have been better off to just produce 6 pounds of tomatoes and 2 pounds of pork or whatever it turned out to be. He would have been able to produce more pork than if he went through and traded it at a price of 1 pound of pork for 2 pounds of tomatoes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does.
So it cost him more to do the deal. So in that case, it was good for the rancher, but not good for the farmer.
Okay, that makes sense. So when you submitted this, where did you submit it to?
Just in iLearn, it has the quiz, so it's separate from this document. It just opens like any regular quiz, but it's the same exact questions as this. You just go into
Is it the group quiz or individual quiz?
it's the group quiz. It's called the group quiz, but you take it individually.
Okay.
So yeah, but it's the exact same as this quiz right here.
Okay.
And this one was hard because we weren't given, or I guess I can give you a chance to read it first before I start talking.
Okay. Okay.
So what I struggled with was because it doesn't give us any kind of time period. So when it says that they were dividing their time equally between the production of them, I struggled with, like, because it makes it a lot easier when you know the time, because then you can figure out the opportunity costs a little easier. But I don't think it matters what time you put in there. So what I just put a random time in there and just kept it the same through both graphs. So then I was able to calculate the opportunity cost and then to figure out how many purses were being produced. And so, because you need to find out how many are being produced between the two, and then figure out then you need to figure out, okay, which one of these two is gonna produce based off of what it says here, to which one has a comparative advantage. So they're gonna solely produce. And so I came up with, I think between the two, they were producing 7 purses. And then she had the comparative advantage. So she was going to be the one to produce solely purses. And so between the two, it was 7. And then with just her, it was 10. So it increased by a factor of 3 is what I got.
Okay.
Like, do you understand what it means when it says comparative advantage?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, then you find the comparative advantage between the two, and then she had the better comparative advantage, and so she produced it. But it just took time to go through it and figure it out. And there's probably an easier way to do it than what I did, but
Yeah, well, on Thursday, I think we have the live chat with the teacher, so we'll be able to like ask him.
yeah, that'll be nice. I watched the last one, but it was all just about like the course setup and stuff, so it was nothing about the actual material.
Yeah, so is it every Thursday?
I think so.
Okay.
But I think, yeah, if you miss it, you can just watch the recording of it too, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Farmers can specialize in the production of, okay, that one's easy. Tomatoes. And the rancher should specialize in the production of pork. Yeah, that one makes sense.
okay.
Okay. Mira has an absolute advantage in the production of, yeah, both goods, and a comparative advantage in the production of mixers. Doesn't she have a comparative advantage in both of them since she produces? Oh, wait, this one's confusing. Okay. If it takes Miguel oh, okay. So it takes him in 1 hour, he makes 20 mixers. Oh, no, he needs 20 hours to make one mixer. And Myra needs 8 hours to make one mixer.
Yeah.
So 40 hours, she can make 5 and he can make 2. And she can make 8 toasters and he can make 4. So she definitely has an absolute advantage because she makes more in less hours. But why does she have a comparative advantage in the production of mixers only if she makes toasters more than he does too?
Hold on, let me go through it again just to double check myself. I think now that I'm looking at it, I think it might be B.
B?
Yeah.
Okay, how come it's a comparative advantage in one thing and not both of them?
Because when you do it, you do it. So her comparative advantage for mixers would be 5 divided by 8, and her comparative advantage for toasters would be 8 divided by 5. And then you compare it to these numbers. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
5 divided by 8 is like 0.625 or something like that. And then 2 divided by 4 is 0.5. And I'm pretty sure with comparative advantage, you always do the one that's the smaller opportunity cost, right?
Yeah.
And so in that case, Miguel has a smaller opportunity cost with mixers. And then you do it backwards. So for toasters, it'd be 8 divided by 5. And then we do 4 divided by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, so that's the comparative advantage. And then 8 divided by 5 is 1.6. So she would have the comparative advantage in toasters. So I think that's one of the ones I got wrong. So I think it's B and not. But do you see why it's in one and not the other, though? So she has a comparative advantage in one of the goods, but not both.
That makes sense. Okay, so for number 15, total output in an economy increases when each person specializes because B, each person spends their time producing that product in which he or she has a comparative advantage. Yeah, that makes complete sense. Okay, 16.
Then I'll be honest with you on 16, and I think the last two I just completely guessed, so I really don't know.
Okay. I'll just do that one later. Okay, and then number 17 is D, definitely. 18. Did you guess on that one?
Yeah, I guessed on that one, and I guessed on the last one. So the last one that I actually did was 19.
Okay. So that you did that one, or you stopped on that one?
That one.
You stopped on that one?
No, I completed question 19, but
Okay.
it's not March. I think it was this one.
Okay. So please tell me this class gets easier.
Yeah, I hope so. It probably never does. This is the very first assignment, so it's probably not going to get easier.
I know. This is pretty hard.
Yeah. So, how many credits are you taking this semester?
13, and then I just added a religion class. So 13, 15 now.
15. Yeah, it's rough. How many semesters have you done?
This is my second semester here.
Did you do school somewhere else?
Yeah, I did school. I transferred in before I came, and then I worked with special ed kids for a year before I came. So yeah.
What got you interested in economics?
I took it in high school, and I don't know, I just really, really like it. I feel like as a kid, I was like naturally curious. Like I always wanted to know like why things happened the way they did, or like what would happen if I shared this piece of pizza with my friends, and like how could I do that evenly, like just stuff like that.
Yeah.
So math is not my strongest point, so like I definitely have to work on the math.
And
but
have
like,
you taken a math review? It was part of the course.
what?
There was a math review that was part of the course. Did you do that already? I think it might have been optional.
Yeah, I got like a C on it. I didn't do that good.
Yeah.
Or maybe
It's hard
a low B.
I haven't taken like algebra or anything in a long time, so it's hard to get back into it.
Yeah, that is. Well,
I'm just hoping that like I'll remember things and actually be able to use it. Because my like biggest fear is graduating and then forgetting it all.
yeah, seriously. I know, and I have like a really bad habit of like just okay, what's the answer for this? And then not knowing how to do it. And then when you take the test, you're just like, dang, I should have actually learned this.
And I feel like a lot of times the quizzes and the homework are a lot easier than the tests. So you're like, okay, I got this. And then you get in there and it's a lot harder.
Yeah, so, well, I guess we just have to be patient and help each other this semester.
And actually, it's kind of nice that we only have 2 people in the group right now. Because sometimes it can be a pain to get online groups together.
Really?
Yeah, trying to get like multiple people's schedules to line up, it can be really hard.
So when you have multiple people, do you can you see like everyone on the screen?
Yeah, and it's annoying because the screen will like switch to whoever's talking. They're just going back and forth all the time.
Oh, yeah, that does seem annoying.
Yeah. That's like, I think that's my biggest complaint with the online stuff is the group work. Not because it's not useful, but it can just be so hard to try and get people's schedules to line up. Last semester, I was in a group with like 3 different people from Haiti, and that was really hard.
Dang.
They put us in a group, I think, because we had the same time zone. But it was hard because they were struggling with English and stuff.
Oh, that sucks.
But
Yeah, so this will be nice, and we could just kind of like help each other. And I mean, I don't really like studying in groups. That kind of overwhelms me. But
yeah,
sometimes, like, if I'm stuck on a question and if I like ask someone for help, they like help you see it from a different perspective. So I think that would be good to like get that from you, and you get that from me.
right.
But I do, yeah, like when I study, I like to read the book like quietly and just like dissect it instead of just like doing it in like a group setting.
Yeah, I don't like it in a group either because then you feel pressure if everyone else understands it. You're just like, yeah, I understand it, even if you don't.
Yeah,
But if it's on your own time, you can just keep reading it until you get it.
yeah.
I agree.
Okay, so how many times do we have to meet a week?
I think just once.
Okay.
I think it's just every Monday.
Okay, yeah, we'll meet every Monday. My schedule's flexible. I have class until 12:30, I think.
Okay.
And so I'm home by like 1, so I could meet anytime after that.
All right. I don't have anything except for other classes, and I go to work at 7:30 at night, so pretty much all day I'm free.
Okay, so maybe we could do it like at 5, because then I have FHE at 7, and then you have work, so that could be good.
Yeah, that'll be good.
And then you have my number and I have yours, so like if you ever have any questions, just text me.
Yeah, perfect. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's it for this lesson, and hopefully next week isn't too bad.
Yeah. Do we have this? So how do we send this video into him?
I think what he does is he just periodically checks to see that we're updating it. So I'll just put it on, and he'll obviously see that we're both on it. So I don't think you really need to do anything on your part.
Okay. So will you put it in the discussion board?
Yeah, I'll just put the link to it in the discussion board. That's what he said in the instructions.
Okay, can you just put that I was present on it just in case?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. You're welcome. All right, do you have any other questions?
No, I'm good. I'll see you on Monday.
All right, sounds good. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.